Hello everyone, it's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo here for another Let's Play World of Warships, and here I am taking out the Tier 6 American cruiser, the USS Cleveland class. Now, I've done exceedingly well, I've done very well, in the Tier 5 American cruiser, the USS Omaha, and had some really great games in it. And the minute I was able to unlock this, I did and had a couple of bad games in a row, because in World Warships your ship does not get good until you start doing the upgrades. Well, I woke up yesterday morning, had 2 games, and this is one of my games. I am the last ship standing, but look at this. I had such an amazing game in this one. 222 hits, 4 aircraft, 2 ships, 8 fires. I did very well, but you know, I was kind of frustrated because I mean, World of Warships is about 2 weeks old at this point. Actually, a week for open beta. So there's still a lot of not so good players because it takes a little time to actually learn the game. So here is the Cleveland. It's got 4 turrets, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Each one has 3 guns, and they're about 150 to 155 millimeters. So they're a howitzer, right? And they have a very high arc in the way they fire. So we go through this, we're taking a look, we're trying to see what's going on. These are some of the upgrades that I can get. But you can see I had some, well, probably 2 of the upgrades already done. And I'm getting ready to go to the Pensacola in about, I'd say about another week of playing games. Maybe 2 weeks of playing games in this nice ship. So we're going to take it out one more time. This is yesterday morning before getting ready for work. So it's early. You probably don't have the top tier players playing so early in the morning here. But nonetheless, I decide that I'm going to take it out before work. And then I start thinking, I wonder how many other people jump on World of Warships, World of Tanks, War Thunder, whatever it might be, just for a quick game before they do go to work. So we got into a map called Fault Line, which is the average map that I get. The only map I really hate is the open water map. It takes a lot more skill, and you have to know exactly how to use your weapons, or you're not going to do very well at that game at all. So we take a look at it. Fault Line has usually control points from left to right that you have to capture. Depending on which side of the map that you're on, you're going to see A, B, and C in front of you. So it's a control game. You have to control all the points. So let's go and see how we're going to do. We're going to sit here for a few seconds. And what I'm doing is nobody's communicating. And that's the way it is sometimes in the morning. So I sit here and I try to see where my ships are going. Because there's one thing that is certain in this game. And it's that unless you're in a destroyer, if you're alone, you are going to die. And the reason why I say unless you're in a destroyer, destroyers are nearly invisible out from 5, 6, 7 kilometers. If you get closer than 5.8 kilometers, you're going to see one. And usually if they're Japanese, they have torpedoes that have about a 7 to 10 kilometer range. So they could stay hidden. But something the size of a cruiser, a battleship, an aircraft carrier is definitely never going to be good to be alone. So I find that the whole team is going off here in the starboard direction. So we're going to head west along with them, and we're going to start taking a look at what's going on. And we can see that the spotter planes, the fighters from our carrier, are already seeing a couple of people come through the channel over there. Still, you might want to go over there and try to keep them from coming through to your side of the map, but like I said, the minute you break away from your fleet, you're probably signing your death warrant. You might have a good game, get a lot of hits, maybe get a kill or 2, but you're probably going to wind up dead at the bottom of the ocean. So we're going to follow through. Look at all those planes we have in the air. We have 1, 2, 3 fighters and... oh. There's already bombers coming behind us. Just taking a look at the map, and this is important. Sometimes looking at the mini-map in the lower right, you could actually make the mini-map larger by hitting the plus or minus keys to make it small again. But sometimes looking at the mini-map isn't enough. You really want to get an idea based on where you are, where the enemy is. So we can see their fighters, torpedo bombers, and dive bombers coming up behind us. Now, I've loaded to the T key. You have two choices. You could have hydroponics, I think they call it, which lets you see the enemy through like fog. So if you're hunting destroyers, that's the best thing for you. Or you can use the T key to help with destroying the enemy aircraft, and they give you an advance or a skill that makes your anti-aircraft firing more effective for a couple of seconds there. So using the T key, you could actually rattle a couple of squadrons, and I've done that quite a few times last night when I was playing with my friends from Star Citizen Colonial Movers, Marcus, Solias, and Mohawk. Alright, so we haven't sighted the enemy yet. We're still sailing, trying to find out who's around here. And we are bringing up the rear. I mean, there's a couple of destroyers that are in there. And look, most of the ships are off to my right because a lot of them are doing their best to keep their distance. Now, this is right after I did the fire control update. Before the fire control update, it was a 12 kilometer range. But now you're only I'm getting about a 14.5 kilometer range. Now you could look at the gun sight. You have elevation, and then you want to look at, you see the numbers on either side of the sight. It'll tell you how many seconds it's going to take for your shells to land there, and it's going to tell you how far away they are. Now that doesn't mean that you just put a ship up on the 5-second line and fire there, because you also have to account for how fast you're going, how fast they're going, what the angle of deflection is or angle off is. You have to try to predict if they're going to move. And then you have weapons like this that are more howitzer-like. They have a very high arc because they're a lower velocity weapon. And that becomes one of those issues. So I am firing at him. I'm still getting some shots over the top of that hill, and they're landing. Alright, the hardest part, like I said, with this ship is that it's got a very high arc. They are definitely very howitzer-like. And that means the low velocity is not going to punch through armor very well. And you know, it's typical in most cruisers, you almost never use AP against anything but another cruiser. You always use HE against a battleship and against a destroyer. Main reason for going against a destroyer is if you were to use AP against a destroyer, you're probably just going to punch through it without doing much damage. That sounds weird, but you'll probably put a hole in the ship. But that's about it. One of the most important skills to get is going to be the skill, I forget the name of it, but it actually lets you see the torpedoes at a 20% greater range. A lot of times when you see torpedoes, they're right up on top of you. So there are a couple of people over here. We have a couple of cruisers and a battleship coming around this area. How do I know that? Looking at the mini-map, I'm looking at this. But we're doing very well as a team, and that's unusual for playing in the morning for me. When I play World of War Tanks in the morning, or sorry, World of War Tanks, World of Tanks in the morning, I tend to get a much lower skill set of people. And that's been happening here too, but I've gotten a couple of people which made me think, wow, I wonder how many other people are stopping by to play just before they go to work. So yesterday I played, today I'm doing the video. So let's try to do something better than what we've done so far. We've gotten one aircraft and about 14 hits, and that's it. We have 2 cruisers and a battleship destroyed already, so a sizable portion, an important part of their navy is already gone. Usually, at this point, if you see early kills, it's usually always the destroyers. Now, they have 2 destroyers, which are going to be a little bit troublesome for us later on. And we have 1 because we did lose one of our destroyers very early on. So I'm going to get a little bit more aggressive here. I'm going to push through this channel, which is almost always a suicide to try to push through these channels. I've got somebody with me. I'm going to try to scan. He's a little bit outside my range. I'm trying to put him on the 10-second mark, but I also have to push out a little bit, so he's actually moving away from me at an angle. So again, you have to figure out that angle off. And we're going right through this channel. And again, like I said, this is usually something that is that's quite dangerous. So this battleship is launched on us and missed with all its shots. We have already set him on fire. Did you see how long it took for my shots to get there? Because they have such a high arc, they take forever. He's far away, and it's going to take about 10 seconds for it to get there. And I wanted to hit about mid-ship when it gets there. I should have pulled in a little bit. He is turning. The flag in the lower right above the map just means that we just helped cap this area, so we got some points. Firing again up and over this mountain. It's actually just an island. And hoping that some of them land, and they do, and we set them on fire again. Fires are amazing. A lot of times you can destroy somebody with just hitting them with HE and just letting the fire do the work for you. Now already it looked, I'm like, oh god, I was stupid. I'm never going to make it to the end of this game. You could see a good 2/3 of my hit points were gone with a couple of hits from that battleship. I set him on fire yet again. I now have 10 hits on him in the last 30 seconds. And he is burning from me from stem to stern. And that's what I love about the Cleveland. I mean, the Cleveland or the U.S. American, the U.S. Premium Cruiser, the Atlanta. They have such a high rate of fire and so many weapons that normally by the time you get your, by the time you fire your shells and they get to the ship, you're already firing another one. And I haven't upgraded mine right now. Once I upgrade them, I will have 7 seconds between shots, and it takes about 10 seconds to get there. So theoretically, I could have 3 shots on the way. So we already set the, I forget what kind of, it's a Langley maybe? But we set this aircraft carrier on fire, and whenever you see an aircraft carrier, it's very important to just shoot HE on them. We set them on fire again. And the main reason for that is that if they're on fire, they cannot launch or recover aircraft, just like in real life. We have some critical damage on him. And we are burning him down. Just look at his hit points go down every few seconds. And his planes are trying to come home. We have a Citadel now, so we hit his Citadel. That's pretty good. Everybody in our group is firing on him, and he's dead. So we have gotten him, but we've made a newbie mistake here. We have put ourselves up against the border of the map, which is kind of weird. Alright, we're firing on the battleship now. Hopefully we are going to put him on fire. And, yep, there he goes. He's going to burn now. Fires are amazing. Alright, now let's move to this guy. Let's see if we could add some fire to him. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just moving back and forth, harassing all the different ships, trying to keep them burning, trying to keep the dots on them. Think about, if you've ever played World of Warcraft, think about playing a warlock. That's kind of like what playing the Cleveland is. You're just trying to harass as many of the ships as you can, continuously keep them burning. Just keep on putting your dots on each one of the different ships. Think of it like an MMO. It kind of is. Now this is another cruiser, and he has eyes on me, and he is hitting me pretty fiercely. but we're also hitting him. So I'm thinking right now about going to armor piercing. It's about the only time you ever go to armor piercing, but then I start getting some crits. He's burning, and I say, you know what? I'm probably going to get this guy in the next couple of shots. He's burning hard. 1 or 2 more shots, he's probably going to die. He's getting good at outmaneuvering my shots here by turning in and around. Just going outside of the shot's arc, but these look like they're going to be dead on. Yes, they are, and he's gone. Alright, so we're doing well so far, right? At this point, I'm going, oh, I got to get in the shower. But I don't want to leave the game. And it's not as good of a game as the last one. The last one we lost. We lost because we had a lot of newbies playing and a lot of people that were off on their own. I kept on saying, hey guys, stay together, don't go on your own. And by the time that we were done, there were 4 of us in the last game on different parts of the map. And they just left me alone because I had so many hits. And in the end, if you watch the chat, they were like, Cleveland won't give up. And I was like, hell no, I'm OP. I ain't giving up. In this game, everybody stayed together in their groups. If you look on the map, they stayed together. And it was just having better aim, better accuracy, that helped us win. There were a lot of shots missed on me by the other team. And I wasn't maneuvering very hard. I knew that because, well, I knew that I wasn't maneuvering hard because I wasn't, but I knew that they were not accurate because I wasn't maneuvering hard and they just weren't hitting me. So I've launched up a couple of shots here. And watching where he's going, we might hit his, nope, we did not hit his stern. So we're going to try to stay away from this guy up here. He's got eyes on me, and he's probably going to hit me hard. And he's firing hard at me. See how we do. I forget if this game ended with me dead or not, but you know, there's only 2 real threats right now because I don't see the destroyer, and he's probably fighting with the other bunch of people on the other side. If he was smart, he would have come to take out us. These guys have a lot of hurt coming their way, though. They have a whole squadron. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4 flights of torpedo bombers coming at them. So we're starting to light them up. Here it comes. Wait, watch, watch. Is he good? Is he good? He's turning. He's turning. Oh, we were trying to take out his steering. That's why I went back. But he took 1 hit, and ooh, we just got away from that. He could have taken us out. But, you know, this one ended without killing everybody. We got the domination victory. 285,000 credits, 2,670 XP, 134 free XP. But look at that, 128 hits. The other one was 222. Still got 2 kills, but lots of citadels. We finished at the top in XP, 1780 base XP, and almost just shy of 100,000 damage. And look at that from fires, from 27,000 damage from fires. And that's the big thing. And that completes this video of the USS Cleveland class. If you like this video and want to see more types of videos like this, please comment below. There's a different ship anywhere from tier 1 to tier 5 that you want me to play. Please ask, and I will go out and try to do my best in it. And with that said, folks, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.